15 seconds to show. Emmy reveals to A. B, then A. 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, track red. 4, 3, wait for it. 2, 1, and roll red.
First and 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communication, you're watching WUFT News.
Gainesville could be the first city in the state to be named a welcoming city. The commissioner spoke about it today and what it could mean for the city of Gainesville.
Buchholz High School was evacuated today after another bomb threat. Investigators are still looking for the culprit.
A pair of shootings left 2 dead in Ocala, with police still searching for suspects, and discussions about the Plum Creek expansion plan continue tonight. Good evening. It's Thursday, February 18th. I'm Marie Edinger.
And I'm Connor Ingalls. Thanks for joining us. The county is still taking public comment on the plan, which would allow Plum Creek to develop part of its land. Opponents say the land needs to be preserved, while those in favor see it as a huge opportunity for the economy in the area. They were hoping to vote on it tonight, but with dozens lined up to speak, the vote might not happen until next week.
Buchholz High School had another bomb threat today, the third in 2 weeks. WUFT's Kirsty Crawford went out to BHS, and she joins us now live from the newsroom. Kirsty, what are deputies doing to find the caller?
As of right now, school officials say the students will not have to make any of these days up, and they have no idea or no way to find the caller.
Students at Buchholz High were relocated to the Boys and Girls Club of Alachua County this morning because of the bomb threat called in. Students heard the announcement from the office, but were not scared this time around.
Yeah, we talk about it a lot. I guess it's kind of weird because, I don't think there's too many people super scared about it because it just keeps happening and nothing happens, and we go back to school and it happens again.
Faculty members blocked off the Boys and Girls Club so students couldn't leave unless a parent checked them out. One parent takes the numerous threats seriously.
I'm afraid because the threat could be real, then it just could be a student, doing something like this. But during this day and time, you just don't know, so you got to take it like it's for real. Don't take that as play. Take it for real.
This is the second time that students and faculty members had to walk from Buchholz High School down over to the Boys and Girls Club of Alachua County. They will remain here until someone picks them up, or until school's over, or until the search is cleared. This means that they might miss lunch, but some students have had food delivered to them. Principal Vince Perez did say lunch was being figured out. Only one search dog was available this time. The search took so long that students were not able to return to classes at all today, causing significant frustration.
Just look around. Look at the disaster that you have created,
Perez says as of now, the school does not need to take away any break days. He says he and the faculty will be meeting to discuss what happened today and how to move forward. Reporting from the newsroom, Kirsty Crawford, WUFT.
Open their mics, take.
Thank you, Kirsty. Now, we've gotten ourselves into that Florida pattern, I think, where nights and, the early mornings are pretty cold, but then the daytime jumps up 30 degrees.
Yeah, the Florida pattern, you know you're from Florida. When 43 degrees is really cold. You have forecaster Dan Henry joins us now from the Weather Center. Dan, how low will it get tonight?
Well, Connor, we're expecting low temperatures again in the low 40s. You guessed it. The low tonight likely around 42 here in Gainesville. That's about 25 degrees cooler than it is right now, though, so it's a nice one out there. Currently 67 on the UF campus. Plenty of sunshine. That's going to be what help us cool off so much this evening. We're at 65 at the airport, 70 up in Lake City and Cedar Key, 70 in Ocala and Crystal River, too, all part of the 70 club there. Yellow Bower for this evening does show quite the cool off after sunset, so grab the coat if you're headed out later. Wind chills in the upper 30s by daybreak. Lows tonight again near 42 or so here in Gainesville. A little bit warmer along the first coast. I'm going 51 in St. Augustine. But some good news coming up for the weekend. Much warmer. And I'll talk about your Daytona 500 forecast in my next update in just a few minutes.
She's rapping. Open her mic, take.
Thanks so much, Dan. Florida has roughly 20 million people and 12 million voters, and many people have been hustling to take part in the March 15th presidential primary. In Alachua County, GOP rolls have climbed 4% since the debates began, and the number of registered Democrats is up 5%. This is voters switching parties. In Florida, the primaries are closed, so some voters have at least temporarily left their minor parties.
We see that a reasonable number of people who've been registered with the Green Party have chosen to move over and become Democrats for this presidential preference primary. And likewise, we see a significant block of voters who were registered with the Libertarian Party who changed their registration to Republican.
Typically, about 1 in 5 voters in Alachua County who are registered no party affiliation at all. Since the start of the year, nearly 1,500 of those voters have chosen sides to take part in the March 15th primary. And with death sentences now on hold after a Supreme Court ruling, Florida lawmakers are working on legal changes to comply. Juries will have to clearly determine that aggravating factors exist, and the vote will no longer be a simple majority, that's 7 of the 12 jurors. The House bill supports prosecutors who want to require a 9-3 jury decision, but the Senate version calls for a unanimous vote. A compromise to move forward will likely require the jury vote be at least 10-2 in favor of the death penalty. And Gainesville commissioners are discussing a resolution to become a welcoming city.
That's right. If the resolution is passed tonight, commissioners will make future ordinances more inclusive for immigrants. Zoe Haugen joins us now in the studio. Zoe, what's the purpose of the resolution?
Well, Connor, the goal is to make people who live in Gainesville all feel like they belong. Oh.
I want to see take the initiative to reach out and provide opportunities.
Advocates hope Gainesville commissioners will adopt a policy naming Gainesville a welcoming city. Welcoming America is a national organization that emphasizes the acceptance of different cultures by embracing immigrants and fostering opportunity.
Become the first officially sanctioned welcoming city in the state of Florida. That's pretty incredible. What's great about that is that will put Gainesville on the map as a town and a city that believes in working for the health and well-being of all people.
Daniel Bernal is an immigrant attending UF.
I feel incredibly privileged that I get to live here in such a vibrant, forward-thinking town.
As of now, whether the ordinance passes or fails, it's up in the air, like heads or tails.
I'll see that as two sides of the same coin. The fact is that immigrants, international folks here in Gainesville, contribute enormously to the economic vibrancy of this community, the cultural connections. They're part of our families in many cases.
Wells says there is already a large population of international students, and businesses see it as a competitive edge that gives them an incentive to operate in the city.
Folks are welcome in this community. They bring their talents and skills to this community. And we as a community want to speak out with a loud voice that Gainesville is a very welcoming city.
The city will also address the Northeast Pool repairs tonight. The pool is the only all-year pool in Gainesville. The city needs to approve the cost of repairs up to $75,000 to replace the pool liner.
Thank you, Zoe. 2 separate shootings in Ocala have left 2 dead. The first was in a residential neighborhood. Ocala police found Mallory Moten in front of a house shot several times. He was taken to the hospital where he later died from his injuries. The second happened early this morning at a nightclub called Platforms. Jayra Rains was shot in the stomach and also died after he arrived at the hospital. Ocala police officers say it is early in both of these investigations. They ask anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers.
The Earth Skills Gathering at Little Orange Creek Nature Park is underway. As Andrea Newport-Jones shows us, the gathering is a week-long camping event focusing on nature and land use.
A 5-day event in Hawthorne is bringing together hundreds of people for one purpose. The Earth Skills Gathering teaches primitive skills to all who are willing to learn. From toddlers to village elders, the event brings together people from all over the country.
People in all different social strata come together, and for a week at least, they're living in this harmony and unity that is our birthright.
Earth Skills Gathering has been in Florida for 6 years and hopes to stay around for many more. Some of the skills classes offered at the gathering include African drumming, hide tanning, plant walks, and blacksmithing. Here at Earth Skills Gathering, people from all walks of life camp for days as they connect with nature, sharing community meals, and have skills classes that help them in the future. The night ends with lots of stories and lots of music. The goal of the event is to promote awareness for sustainability and living off the land. Event organizers hope to inspire participants to use
use their skills in everyday life.
The
The
T's is
connections
coming
made
next. There
between
is
people
no tag.
allow for the
Font.
skills to
No tag out. Coming
So
straight
if
to
somebody
camera
has
two.
some
When I
land
get to
and
two, I want
they're wanting
music.
to build a
Lose it?
structure on
Thank
it, they
you.
might
I want both
call together the
mics.
people who had studied
And
timber
then-
framing.
Little Orange
Don't
Creek
start the
Nature
music
Park
yet
will see more than
because, you know,
800
we're
people as
gonna be
Earth
quick.
Skills continues this weekend. The gathering will wrap up on Sunday evening, but the memories made this week will last forever. Andrea Newport-Jones, WUFT News.
WUFT News First at 5 is just getting started. Coming up, a man's love for his cars, dozens of them, and the fight to keep them where he wants to. We spoke with him about his case. Coming up.
Play A, take.
People will stay away if they don't understand what the
Open
risk
his
is to
mic.
them.
Take.
Zika isn't stopping most people
Dan,
from
open
traveling abroad,
Dan
but
Henry's mic.
researchers say travelers should be aware of the
His mic's a
risks.
little
That
low.
and more in our health news segment after the break.
Trigger.
We do have a warm-up on the way for the weekend, but there is rain in my sixth day. After the break, I'll tell you just when we expect that to arrive.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Black and silence. Master 2. 15 back. Ready, red. 22. Cool. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Track A. Roll.
You're watching WUFT TV News.
Welcome back. An Archer man has gotten into a bit of trouble for doing what he loves.
Because how he does it isn't so pretty. WUFT's James Torres brings us the story of Charles Poindexter, a man with a big heart, a big collection, and a little bit of a problem.
Roll take.
You would never find Charles Poindexter to be a quiet man. What you would find, however,
Can we get the first font, please?
With the highest horsepower.
is his love for collecting cars. He has more than 50 cars on 4 different sites, but he has just one problem.
On the 26th day of May 2015, the Office of Code Enforcement received a complaint of junk and junk cars all over the property located at 15423 Southwest 59th Avenue, Archer, Florida.
An old neighbor was trying to sell property right behind Poindexter, but the family said they were unable to find a buyer because of the junk Poindexter had on his property. But instead of approaching him,
The realtor never spoke to me.
the family went straight to code enforcement with complaints. The family no longer lived near Poindexter, and as a result of their complaints, he appeared in front of Alachua County's Board of Code Enforcement, where he had a different perspective.
The record shows this as being junk. I call it a gold mine.
The board gave him 6 months to organize his property. After 2 months, he cleaned up a small portion of it. Poindexter says he's offered to buy the property from the neighbors, but they refused to sell it to him.
They've had 2 realtors had this property up for sale. Not one of them have come to me and asked me if I was interested in the property. I don't understand that.
Poindexter has relocated a few of his cars to different storage areas and is planning to build a building to organize some that are left on his property. Until then, he says he will continue to do what he loves, collecting more cars.
Stand by 2.
James Torres, WUFT
That was
News.
the longest pause. Take Q.
Now, there's new evidence the Zika virus may be deadlier than we previously thought. Officials in Brazil and Venezuela say 6 Zika patients have already died.
In the U.S., 50 Zika cases of the virus have been reported. Health Beat reporter Sarah Kimbrough has more on the story.
I'll give you guys an update on the FDA regulations as well as the Zika cases in Florida.
Take.
The FDA is out with new guidelines for keeping the Zika virus out of the U.S. blood supply. The agency is asking people who recently traveled to affected countries to wait 4 weeks before donating blood. Doctors say 4 weeks should be plenty of time for your immune system to totally clear out the virus. Sometimes people infect mild symptoms, so it's important for regular blood donors returning from their travels to follow the calendar and not just donate early because they feel okay.
Roll A, dissolve.
A medical student in South Florida says he contracted Zika while in Haiti last fall. Christophe Delapanasi is a student at Florida International. He was on a 9-month mission in Haiti, which has seen more than 100 cases since last summer.
B, roll take.
We went walking outside to visit the villages and stuff. And so during that trip, that was my main exposure to being outside. And then I went back home. And then the following week is when I got sick.
As for recent and current cases in Florida, the Florida Surgeon General today put the number at 24. All international travelers and none locally acquired. That's true throughout the 50 states, but in Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands, there are now Zika infections being spread by mosquitoes.
The CDC count has 10 cases there, almost all locally acquired. If you're prone to migraines, you know that they can take their toll, but there may be alternatives to drugs for managing the disorder. While medications can alleviate migraine symptoms, there is still no cure. Dr. Carolyn Bernstein runs the Headache Center at Boston's Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. A migraine sufferer herself, Bernstein is exploring alternative treatments, such as indoor cycling. Exercise often boosts neurotransmitters that can decrease pain levels.
Carolyn, please. Roll B, track, take.
There's not one thing that we can do to end the migraines for all time at this point, but there are a lot of different options that we can offer, and we can hopefully and most likely get you to a better place than where you are.
Bernstein says a lot of her patients prefer indoor cycling because it's low impact. There's no pounding to aggravate the headache. But if you think you're being healthier by skipping the soda machine and going to Starbucks, you might want to think again. A new study found some flavored coffee drinks can contain more sugar than soda. The group Action on Sugar analyzed 131 hot drinks from coffee shops in Britain, including Starbucks. Some contain the equivalent of 25 teaspoons of sugar. That's 3 times more than a typical can of soda and 3 times the daily intake recommended by the American Heart Association. Starbucks says the next few years it will work to reduce added sugar in its indulgent drinks by 25%. Believe it or not, it's National Drink Wine Day, and your doctor may not mind if you have a glass or two. A little wine consumption seems to have some health benefits. Moderate drinkers have lower risks for liver disease, type 2 diabetes, heart attack, stroke, and some cancers. Wine can also reduce bad cholesterol and increase good cholesterol. Thank you, Sarah. Now, we've had beautiful sunny skies these past couple of days, and we've got another clear night ahead.
That's right. But Dan, the weatherman, tells us those cloudless skies can't stay forever. Dan, when will we see rain next?
That's the sad truth of life, Connor. We do always have clouds. The good silver lining is that we are going to see warmer temperatures this weekend. We're looking beautiful right now. Hardly a cloud in the sky over the swamp. Doesn't look much. Can't look much better than that. 66, that slight easterly breeze, making things feel a little bit chilly at times out there this afternoon. 65 currently at the airport. 70 in Lake City. 70 Cedar Key. 70 Club rounds out there with Crystal River as well. Your hour by hour this evening does show quite the cool off, though. We'll be into the low 40s in many areas with the wind chill feeling a couple degrees cooler than that. The chances of rain absolutely nil, so some good news there. Your 3 big things, though, have a story to tell. The first is, of course, the cool night, and, of course, another cool morning. Wind chills in the upper 30s for your Friday. We do have a weekend warm-up coming Friday through Sunday, above average temperatures and dry all across North Florida. Great weekend to get outdoors. I might even go as far as to say the best weekend of 2016 so far. Your next cold front arrives Tuesday, bringing with it the chance for some showers. And that's what I'm going to start off with. I'll start with the bad news here. So, if you notice at the beginning of this jet stream pattern, we were in kind of a flat flow, but notice how kinked the jet stream becomes, and that front that pushes through Tuesday on into Wednesday really has a bit of a change in temperature behind it. So we're going to be getting much cooler on into next week. So enjoy these warmer temperatures while we got them, because we will not likely be in the 70s for your next week. Of course, 42 is the low tonight. That's the cool spot for the next 6 days. Your Friday afternoon, some 30 degrees warmer, 71 here in Gainesville, 74 in Ocala. A few clouds out there. And then if you're headed out to the Daytona 500, it's going to be a great weekend for some racing. A 20% chance of a brief onshore shower on Friday. That's not going to be of any concern. 70 on Saturday, 72 Sunday. Some clouds building by the end of the weekend. But again, hardly any rain expected along the first coast. So, the good news here is mostly concentrated in the next 4 of your 6-day outlook here. Notice the gradual warming trend, especially by Sunday, when we'll be up near 77. Lows will be getting warmer as well, so if you're thinking about doing any outdoor camping, it's going to be a better couple of nights for those by the end of the weekend on into the beginning of next week. But that front pushes through Tuesday. Thunderstorms are possible, and yes, there is a low risk of severe weather, especially in an El Nino winter like the one that we are in. Those showers linger around for Wednesday, and then hopefully we'll be clearing out some by the end of next week. And just a reminder that you can also download our new app, Florida Storms. It's available for both Apple and Android platforms. So James and Connor and Marie, it's looking good for the next few days.
All right, thank you, Dan. Well, it's been an up and down season for the Florida women's basketball team.
But they can get back on track with a win tonight. WUFT sports anchor Ryan Nelson joins us now with more.
That's right, guys. They're hosting the Vanderbilt Commodores tonight, and they could get their 8th conference win
of the season here tonight. Coming up in sports, we'll have a live look into the O-Dome and give you everything you need ahead of tonight's game. Sports is next.
4, 3, 2, 1. Dissolve, black and silence. Master, it's yours. Alright. 15, stand by. Coming to camera 2, 10, 8. Just kidding, I skipped several numbers. Track red. 4, 3, 2, 1, and roll red. Ready, Ryan. Mike.
There's no place like home for the Florida women's basketball team. Welcome back to sports. I'm Ryan Nelson. The Gators are coming off back-to-back devastating conference losses, and tonight Florida begins the end of the regular season with just 4 games remaining before the conference tournament time, and it seems like the team is hitting a wall. I'm joined now by WFT's women's basketball beat reporter Kaylee Glider. The SEC tournament could be seen as the light at the end of the regular season tunnel here for the Gators. That being said, what are the implications of this game?
That's right. With the Gators on their 2-game road sked, they're hoping that the home advantage will work out tonight. The Commodores are also coming off a weekend loss against Kentucky, but they will be marching into Gainesville with something to prove, just like they've done in the past. The last time the Gators won at home over Vandy was a decade ago. This season, there have been 9 leading scorers for the Gators in a game, and head coach Amanda Butler is pointing to the seasoned players for getting it done tonight.
Roll B, back to FS30. We don't have a shot.
All of the seniors and Ronnie for the win tonight. Florida will enter today's game tied for 5th behind Auburn in the SEC standings. This game is crucial for the team to bounce back from its biggest loss of the season, especially for going on the road before wrapping up the season at the end of the month. This game could mark the 20th victory this season. As you noticed from that footage, Auburn was sporting some nice pink jerseys, and tonight will be Florida's chance to participate in the Play for K event, honoring North Carolina State's head coach Kay Yao in her battle against breast cancer. With only 2 opportunities to watch this team at home, put on some pink and head down to the O'Connell Center, and you could be one of the first 500 fans to receive a t-shirt for the event. Reporting for WUFT Sports, I'm Kaylee Glider.
All right, thanks a lot, Kaylee. Well, from peaks to valleys, the Florida men's basketball team has seen it all. But through the ups and downs, dreams of the NCAA tournament are still alive. And in their last in their last outing on the floor, the Gators just didn't shoot the ball well at all, going just 32% from the field. But Florida managed to pull out a close road win over rival Georgia. Up next for the Gators are the South Carolina Gamecocks. Like the Gators, they play well at home, but can't figure it out when the rubber meets the road. Both teams are 8-5 in conference play, and right now that's good enough for a 3-way tie for second with Texas A&M. Florida's coming off a win over Georgia, but South Carolina has back-to-back losses to Missouri and Kentucky. Florida head coach Mike White says the Gamecocks will be quite the challenge.
I have deep appreciation for the way they approach the game and how hard they battle you, the level at which they defend. So, again, they all keep me up at night.
The Gators could pick up their 9th conference win of the season this Saturday. Well, if the Florida softball team is feeling the pressure to three-peat as national champions, they're doing a really good job of hiding it. Through 6 games, Florida has beaten their opponents by a combined score of 54-1, and the season is just 6 days young. The Gators took on the Jacksonville Dolphins last night in a home doubleheader, and the Gators just ran away with it. But the story of the game came from the circle. Alicia Ocasio had batters spinning all night. She fanned not 1, not 2, but 7 batters in game 1. We all get a little help from our friends, as did the Gators last night, helping to keep alive the no-no. For the 16th time in Gator softball history, Florida turns a no-hitter. They take game 1 6-0. And game 2 was more of the same. Anything you can do, I can do better. Well, not quite. Kelly Barnhill tried and did a pretty good job, but gets 9 strikeouts of her own, preserves the shutout. Gators win 10-0. Tim Walton says the no-hitter was pretty good.
Yeah, no, she threw well. She threw well the other day against Virginia Tech too. She's got some pretty good pitches going on. Anytime you can go up and down and change speeds, and then we're adding a little bit of dimension both east and west. Just the variation of speed that she throws really helps keep the hitters off balance and really hard to get square and get on time.
Gators hit the show on the road to take part in the Diamond 9 tournament in Orlando tomorrow. Florida faces UAB and Stephen F. Austin. Well, dominance of the Diamond is nothing new in Gainesville. Last year, the Florida baseball team made a deep run in Omaha, but came up just short of a College World Series Finals win. A year later, the Gators are #1 in the country, and expectations are soaring. Good news for Gator fans, this team is absolutely loaded. 6 Gators are on the preseason SEC team. Florida returns 18 letter winners and 6 position starters from a year ago. The Gators are also picked to win by the SEC coaches to win the conference. Fans get a first glimpse of the 2016 edition Gators tomorrow at 7 p.m. And speaking of championship runs, the Florida Gymnastic will be back in action tomorrow to take on the Missouri Tigers. They are on the road. The Gators' only loss came on the road this season to the Auburn Tigers. Florida has just 4 matches remaining until the SEC championships. Head coach Jenny Rowland says her squad is playing close attention to details.
Stand by, track B, roll take.
Been working on some of the little things that we know that that will make us better and not be complacent with where we are.
Take Q.
The meet begins tomorrow at 7 p.m. And guys, today was the NBA trade deadline, and in some Florida basketball news, Channing Frye is actually on the move. Yeah, he went from Orlando to Cleveland as a Magic fan. I don't know how they got out of his contract, so thank you, Cleveland, for that.
Right, there's like Wizards and there's Magic and basketball. It's all Harry Potter to me, right?
We're going no.
All right, before we go, let's get one last check on the weather.
Here's Amanda.
It's Dan.
Thanks, Marie. Appreciate it. And nothing going on radar right now. A beautiful evening around North Florida. A little bit chilly, though. You want to grab a coat, even if it's not too bad right now. 65, your current temperature, but we're going to cool off into the low 40s tonight. Upper 30s on the wind chill by daybreak. So a chilly one out there tonight.
Open their mics.
But your Florida news is always on at WUFT.org.
Here on WUFT TV, BBC World News is up next, and the PBS NewsHour is coming up at 7 o'clock. Have a good night.
Oh.